So, first start last year actually against Mississippi State, I was hitting 9-hole in. First at bat against Pico Khan. He ended up getting drafted, I think, in like the second round last year. I got the bunt sign, laid down a perfect bunt. Next at bat, just 3 pitches, just swung through all 3 for strikeout, first strikeout. So, definitely a welcome to college moment.
That's in Starkville, right?
Yep, in Starkville.
So you had to have those strikeouts in probably the most hostile environment in all of college baseball.
Sold out crowd. Yep, just 3 straight pitches, swung through all of them. So.
And did they let you hear it when it happened?
Yep, they let me hear it. Yep, it was crazy. It was definitely a cool experience, though. You know, one you'll never forget. That's
a little different than striking out in high school to be striking out in front of it's 17,000 there?
Yeah, sold out. It was crazy. Definitely way different than striking out in high school. So.
And then what was kind of your breakthrough moment you feel like that season?
That season, I wouldn't say I really had a breakthrough moment, but last year probably what eased everything off my shoulders was getting that first hit last year against SIU, I believe. Just first hit was a double down the line, so that's one I'll never forget.
Kind of feeling a relief after all the initial struggle.
Yep.
The bunt must have felt good though. You got a perfect bunt down. So your first at bat, that must have felt really, really good.
Oh yeah. Definitely eased some stuff off the shoulders as well.
But then you struggle a little bit.
After that, got the first hit and then started to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, it takes a lot of weight off your shoulders to kind of know, all right, I can still do this level.
Yep, still play. That's pretty much what I was thinking. So.
But between last year and this year, kind of what has been the contribution to the massive jump you've had? Because right now, I mean, your stats are up there with just about anybody.
Yeah, coming in to the fall here, I played in the Appalachian League, so that was definitely huge for me. Saw a lot of good pitching, which definitely helped me coming here in the fall. And then also Hawk working with me a ton, offensively and defensively. So he just plays a huge part in all of that.
For those who haven't watched it, kind of what was the trajectory like for you this season? Like where did you kind of come into the season expecting to be in the lineup versus kind of where you are right now? Because this is a pretty big breakthrough for you these past few weeks.
Yep. So in my exit meeting last year, I was told that I would probably be a starter more than likely. And coming into this season, I would also think that as well. And then as of now, I mean, just keep doing what I do, keep showing everyone that I can play, and just keep having fun with these guys. It's a great time.
When the light flip switch just happened to where boom, I'm hitting the ball.
Yeah,
hard.
So probably summer ball actually out in the Appalachian League. So I hit really well out there, and then came in the fall and I was still hitting, and then had a really good preseason as well. So ever since the summer, everything just started clicking.
And then was there a game this year where you really felt like you'd arrived?
Yeah, I would say that Oral Roberts game when I had 3 hits.
I watched that game. I was there.
Yep. That's when I was like, yeah, I can play a little bit.
If you look on the opposite side of that, what do you think the hardest moment you've had this whole journey?
Hardest moment, I would say last year I definitely had some struggles. I was struggling when I would get opportunities. I couldn't really perform to what I knew I could do, getting limited at bats. So that was definitely the hardest moment of my career, I would say.
And how did you kind of persevere through experiencing that?
So last year, Jeff Jimenez, our assistant, he would talk to me a ton after games when he knew I was down, or he saw that I was struggling, and he would just help me out a ton, mentally, and he's just the guy I go to whenever I need anything, help or anything, just to talk to. So he's played a huge part. So.
And do you have an anecdote from him?
Yeah. So I remember last year we played Wichita State, and I got a start against them, and I struggled that weekend. I think I had 3 strikeouts. When I came out here, I think Jeff saw that I was a little frustrated about it, and he took me out. We went on a walk out on the field, actually, and he was just talking to me, telling me how good he knows I am and how much I'm going to help this program. So that definitely helped me out a lot.
Is there a player that you would compare your game to? How would you describe your style of play for those who haven't seen you play on the field?
So a guy growing up I always wanted to be like was Brandon Phillips. So I'm from Ohio, so that's a guy. Him and Zach Cozart. I would say I'm a lot like Zach Cozart, that's for sure. He was a guy I grew up watching all the time, used to go to Reds games, so I feel like we have similar game styles and play defense very similar.
Do you have any particularly favorite moments as a kid going to a Reds game?
So it wasn't a Reds game, but we went to the All-Star game when it was at Cincinnati. So we watched first pitch of the game, Mike Trout went backside home run. So that was one of the coolest moments I've seen at the Reds Stadium.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. When I was a kid, my father took me in Chicago. It's like one of the coolest things you experience going to an MLB baseball game.
Oh, yeah, it's so cool.
All-Star game, I mean. Yeah, the All-Star game is just like, it's the best All-Star game by far in the sport.
Mm-hmm. You can just see the best players at what they do, just doing what they love, going out, competing against the other best players in the league. So it's definitely pretty sweet to see in person.
And when you were out there as a kid, was it a moment of like, man, I want that to be me someday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially looking out there, all the fans there cheering them on, like them signing autographs. I was like, it's pretty sweet. Like, I definitely want to do something like that for sure.
Have there been moments this year now that you get to kind of like look back at little kid you and like, man, little kid me would be so fired up right now?
Yep. Growing up, me and my dad always used to watch college baseball games. So looking up that now that we're on ESPN, it's definitely pretty sweet knowing that I'm in the same spot where I used to watch other guys play. So
not just that, you're playing in a park. I was thinking about how cool that is walking in. Let's share with the Cardinals minor league team. You know, you're sharing a park with guys that are going to be playing for one of the coolest teams in one of the most storied franchises in any sport in the United States.
It's definitely pretty sweet. You know, we get to see a lot of guys around when the seasons come to. Like over the winter, we were in the cages doing defense and hitting with Dakota Harris, who was here in the summer. So he was pretty cool, really cool guy to be around, and definitely helps us out too.
Do you have any interactions with the Cardinals minor league players ever? Because I have to imagine that's even valuable, just the mentorship any of them could give, because every one of them is where you guys want to be in a few years.
Yeah, so for sure. We see them all the time, you know, in the cages and stuff. And we got the same tunnel down here too. So we walk by, we see each other. We always say what's up, and they say what's up back. So it's definitely pretty sweet.
Do you either have a mentorship moment or a funny moment with them?
So over the winter, Dakota Harris, me and him, we used to do defense a lot together. Like we have a hands machine in there, so we learn a lot. We teach each other a couple things. I show him some stuff that Hawk taught us, and he shows me some stuff that he learned. So it's definitely pretty sweet.
How did it feel to teach someone like him this prestige level?
It was crazy, yeah. I mean, knowing that he's above me and he's asking me like what we do here, it's definitely pretty sweet going out and showing him what we do.
Isn't that a lesson in itself too, that a player who's already achieved that many accolades is still asking you for advice?
Yeah.
It's a good way to be as a person, to always be a learner in that sense and know you can learn from anybody.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. So always asking for help. I mean, that's something that I've always grown up doing, and just seeing him do that just from a guy younger than him and that he's a level above, it's just crazy to me. So.
A few things just as we wrap. The first one, just on your faith. Do you have a Bible verse, anything that you kind of carry with you, or any moment that, any teaching of Jesus that you stick with? That
so
you like?
Pregame, I always pray. I do the same prayer during the national anthem, and then on my glove every year I put Joshua 1:9, which means be strong and courageous. So that's something I always go by, and that's something that we always do. I mean, I grew up going to church with my family, so it's great.
It's a good simple reminder and affirmation before any game that you have the opportunity to go be a great expression of yourself and inspire others by doing that.
Yep, for sure. I mean, it's always great going out. You know, God's always got something planned for you, and He's always here to help you out. No matter what you do, He's always going to pick you up. So,
favorite moment as a Bear so far?
My favorite moment last year, I would say, was watching Nick Rodriguez hit 2 home runs against Arkansas and end up winning that game for us.
That's cool.
That was a crazy experience just watching that. And then I went in to play third base to close that game out. So that was pretty sweet.
That's an incredible thing to get to go do. It gives you a vision of the future here.
Oh, yeah.
Your favorite moment as a Bear is unwritten still.
Yep. Still more to come.
When you look back on your time as a Bear in a decade, what do you want your legacy to be here?
I wanna be known as the hardest worker as a Missouri State Bear. I mean, I put in a lot of work, and I know Hawk wants me, he believes in me, so I just want to be known as the hardest worker here.